I'm so blessed, my Lord, I can see you in all the lovely things so fine and true. I see you in the beauty of the flowers and the rain. I see you between the lines of a sweet refrain. I'm so blessed, my Lord, I can see you even when I'm lonely and in pain. I see you in the beauty of the stars at night. I see you in my life, I feel alright. I see you, Lord, in sorrow and in happiness. I see you in the glory of sweet success. I see you, Lord, every hour, every day. I can see you, Lord, whenever I pray. I'm so blessed, my Lord, I can see you in the smile of a baby, sweet and true. I can see you in the eyes of my very best friends. I see you in these bonds, just like your love that never ends. I see you, Lord, in sorrow and in happiness. I see you in the glory of sweet success. I see you, Lord, every hour, every day. I can see you, Lord, whenever I pray. I see you, Lord, in sorrow and in happiness. I see you with the glory of sweet success. I see you, Lord, every hour, every day. I can see you, Lord, whenever I pray. I pray. I can see you, Lord, whenever I pray. I see you, Lord.
Okay. All right. So I think we are setting the mood now for our webinar. So let me just present to you our first topics. The first topic that we're going to have in IT industry trends and emerging technologies. Okay, let me present Anay. Okay, okay, so um, you can see my presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall we start now? The ano the webinar. Okay, so good day everyone. Today we are going to dive into dynamic landscape of the Philippine IT industry. So what we're going to do is to explore the current trends driving our digital economy, the emerging technologies that are shaping our future, and most importantly, the skills you need to stay relevant in this fast-paced sector. So this is a strategic overview of innovation and growth in the Philippines. And as I've said, Kagina, you are going to be part of this labor force. So to understand where we are going, we first need to look at where we stand. So the IT sector in the Philippines isn't just a business vertically, it is primarily the pillar of our national development. So let's look on the numbers. The IT BPM industry contributes roughly 10% of our national GDP. So as to say, students, this is a powerhouse that consistently drives employment for millions and brings in significant foreign exchange. So more than just a call center, the Philippines is the call center hub of Asia and has evolved into a global leader for complex IT services and high-level business process management. Okay, so the next slide, you can see there the government support wherein the ICT comes in and digital transformation. So this growth is heavily supported by the government through the DICT or the Department of Information and Communications Technology. Initiatives like the National Broadband Plan and the Digital Philippines framework are critical in bridging the digital divide. So beyond policy, as you can see on digital transformation, that we are rapidly digitizing education. So this digital transformation is no longer a luxury, but it is a necessity for survival in the globalized market. So this shift is creating the unprecedented demand for local tech talent. And kamodaya. So now let's look at the specific trends that are currently defining the Filipino digital experience. Okay, so you can see here e-government, digital payments, and remote work. So e-government, digital payments, remote work, these are part of our daily lives that have changed. So these three major areas, while it is early, it represents a massive leap in computing power that will eventually solve problems currently responsible for the standard of computers. So for e-government, these are streamlining bureaucracy through online services and the automation of public processes for better citizen engagement. So locally, like for example, the Department of Labor and Employment is putting up in partnership with DTI uh, localized one-stop shop for renewing licenses. We also have the eGov app. So if you're familiar with the eGov app, that is a conundrum of different applications where you go to a portal for government offices. Whereas digital payments is the widespread adoption of fintech solution like GCash and Maya. So this drive a cashless economy. This is the start of digital payments. So it would be nice in the future if we be able to pay using your NFC, cell phone na lang, no more cash. So that's the future. For remote work, these are permanent shifts to hybrid models, and the use of global collaboration tools are defining or they're redefining the modern workplace. So let me share to you lang one experience lately lang for remote work. 'Di ba? Diya sa school, nag-admit kita ka mga first year students. I was surprised that one applicant is a VR VA, I'm sorry. She's a VA and she's good in communicating. She has a good communication skills. Nami siya mag-English. So na amaze ako. Medyo mature doon yung bata. Siguro mga 23 years old na siya. I was surprised kay pag-interview ko kana, mature na siya. Tapos ang ginambal na kanakon last time is after sa graduation sa high school, sa senior high, nagdiretso sa obra sa call center. So can you see the now hindi doon it's very accessible. Work in the IT industry is very accessible, and it is also an ano an evidence of the remote work process. So next slide is cloud and security priorities. Now, as organizations modernize, the migration to hybrid and multi-cloud environment is accelerating to ensure scalability and resilience. So currently, adhere to the Data Privacy Act of 2012 has become non-negotiable. So are you familiar with Data Privacy Act of 2012? So starting now, I think you should actually be familiarized with that because if you work on the IT industry, you will come across some pertinent details about Data Privacy Act. So more of that will be discussed in our next topic. Okay? So this landscape drives a surging demand for cybersecurity professionals equipped to combat increasingly sophisticated cyber threats. For intelligence and data, we have AI and automation and data analytics. So I think based on my research, these are the two things that are gets the hand with more for data for the IT industry that needs concentration. For the AI and automation, AI is revolutionizing the BPO industry. We use chatbots to handle customer service and robotic processes to make streamlining operation, shifting human roles towards higher value tasks. So I think we are familiar with AI and automation, and this is way beyond the trend right now. As we speak, as we are talking about right now, AI automation becomes more apparent with industry standards. Okay, for data analytics, big data is now the cornerstone of strategic business decisions. Companies are aggressively hiring skilled data analysts and scientists to interpret complex data sets to drive competitive advantage. So data analytics are most common with processes that are needing to crunch numbers. Crunching numbers with data analytics becomes apparent, and I think the market for this one is become viable. So as fresh graduates in the future, pinadula ka bulan. So you have to choose among these two which will be the area of your concentration. So emerging technologies shaping the future. It's not an understatement anymore, but rather a key cornerstone for IT graduates that needs to be adhered, not ignored. cybersecurity, data soft skills. These are some examples that needs to involve a strong and engaging part to learn something new. Why not learn Python, Java, and cloud certifications for professionals? Second is specialize in data or security. For most of the time, don't ignore your soft skills because these are you need to have the critical thinking, the data ethics, and communications that are separated to be a great developer from a good one. So separate yourself from the rest of your peers. So you must embrace a lifelong learning mindset because in IT, the moment you stop learning, you become obsolete.
Jangan
So we
lumays
have
lang
also
dyan.
an infrastructure of tomorrow. We have 5G technology, the Internet of Things, and the blockchain technology. So for 5G technology, these are the ultra-fast connectivity enabling
Badayin
real-time
ya mic mo.
IoT applications and seamless remote work. 5G technology is actually here right now, and in 5G, we'll be able to learn new more tasks and be productive. So as they say, students, a fast internet could bring a fast fortune for different companies, and if you are going to part of it, you'll become very successful. For Internet of Things and IoT, these are interconnected devices creating smart ecosystems in cities and industries. Internet of Things becomes an integral component of our daily living. Smart cities using smartphones, etc., becomes the norm. For blockchain, these are decentralized ledgers ensuring secure and fluid financial payment transactions. So blockchain technology these are the building blocks of um, for blockchain. These are the building blocks of your Paymaya and your digital banking. So Paymaya and Gcash, all boils down to blockchain technology. For the frontiers of innovation, we have artificial intelligence and machine learning. So these are advanced predictive models and automations which solving complex problems faster than ever before. For AI and machine learning, you'll be able to be interpretative of the things like, for example, data that are being sent to you by your company and be able to process it and process the data and give back to your company for profit. For augmented and visual reality, this is your AR, VR. You are going to create immersive experiences that revolutionize training, education, and entertainment industry. Augmented reality is more than gaming. It is because augmented reality and virtual reality will be the norm for the fast-paced society. For quantum computing, these are specific only to persons which adhere to a much higher learning or research possibilities. These are leveraging quantum mechanics to perform calculations exponentially faster, opening new doors in material science and cryptography. So combining all of this for the frontiers of innovation, just what I read last night, nga ang Starlink ko no, nagpartner doon sa mga telco naton de. Don't you know that we are the first country in Asia to use or utilize the direct link to satellite communication? So can you imagine, hindi doon kinanglan nga kung maano ka mo sa mga remote islands or sa bukid, may signal man gyapon. So kung hindi ka mo kasabi sa signal using the telco towers, then of course, direct to satellite na lang. So what are we going to do? Or what are we going to what is your role to be as part of the IT profession or to be a professional persons in the future. Of course, you have to know programming and development. Not necessarily becomes uh, a eloquent or a very much uh, master of anything, but you have to be proficient in programming, like in Python, Java, and modern web technology. So these are the things that will remain foundational for you. For cybersecurity and cloud, security protocols and certifications in platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud is a must. Don't worry about this because if ever you are hired in a company, of course they will require you to have these certifications. And before you go on these certifications, they are going to train you to become an IT professional. For data competencies, you have to be a master of SQL, data visualization tools, and statistical interpretation. Any of this becomes apparent if one of this is inclined to you, then you are 1 inch closer to data competency. For soft skills, these are very important. Ang soft skills na hindi nyo dyan ma-learn sa eskwelahan. Soft skills are eagerly learned, but they are not taught in school. So, these are sometimes inert ninyong values. Like for instance, critical thinking. Critical thinking, though, siyempre sa school, tudloan ka mo problem solving. Pero critical thinking is one another level, which as you go on working, ma-develop nyo man. Pero kung may inert ka nga skill nga pareho kadaya, it's much better. Kay ang company or ang trabaho nyo, manotice ka mo ka mga direct supervisor lagi mo kung critical thinker ikaw. So ma-impress ang ka ninyo at the same time, mambal nanda nga yung mga graduate kada ka ISOFEST San Enrique Campus, critical thinkers or nagapanumdum. Sometimes masalaan ninyo daya guys nga nga though ang bala ang nagatao ka lang ka suggestion gulpi or probably with of course you have to be analytical before you make a conversation or suggest something. But of course, if you suggest it, make sure lang na na inside the topic ikaw, not outside the topic. Okay, kasi masalaan nanda nga dang pakailamero ka, pero critical thinker ka gali. Na. For ethical judgment, these are also an inert skills that you need to do. Sometimes sa trabaho ninyo is fast-paced na siya. So there are times that requires you to make decisions out of the blue so that you'll be able to facilitate something. So those are things sometimes man not necessarily nga gina-measure ka ninyo sa base sa trabaho niyo dyan kay ga OJT ka mo, it's not. Basically kung paano mo isolve ang problem nga madasig kag sakto ang solusyon. So hindi man pwede nga pakurayan nyo lang yung trabaho just because ginambalan ka nga dapat tapusan mo dyan ahead of time. Of course, the quality of the work is also being measured, not the speed. If you have the speed and the ethical judgment to make decisions, of course, may impress man niya direct supervisor ninyo. Communication skills is a must. You have to speak eloquently. Not necessarily nga grabe gid ka mo mag-English. These are not the things that they're looking for. However, that is an edge if you can communicate to them directly. How do you do this? You have to talk to them all the time. You have to communicate. Di kon huya-uya ka mo pa, ti hindi dun daya pa amo ka daya agit. Dapat hindi ka mo maghuya gid kananda sa mga boss nyo dyan sa OJT ninyo. So an adaptable mindset for lifelong learning is very much appreciated. Lifelong learning skills, like for example, if you learn something, you have to learn another skill. Okay, ang pag-learn nato is lifelong. So there must be a continuity of the skills that you learn. Develop those skills and you become a great asset of your company. Okay, so I think that is all for IT industry trends and emerging technologies. Let me end, Anay, the first part and let's go to second part. Let me admit, Anay, kay some of your classmates are knocking on our doors. Okay, okay, sige. Okay, so let me admit some people before we proceed. Hold your questions for later, Anay, ha? Because we have part two of the presentation. So the part two of our presentation is called the professional ethics and IT and standards in IT in the Philippines. Okay, so uh, mm, let me admit some people before I present my second presentation. Okay, so another presentation. Okay, wait, Anay. Okay, so let me present in the window. Okay, for the second time, let me ask you if you can see my screen. Okay, good morning. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall we proceed? So the second part of our presentation for this webinar is the professional ethics and standards in information technology. So this is the basis of the legal framework and ethical guidelines in Philippine ICT sector. Okay. So, welcome to the second part of our presentation. And having discussed the technological trends, we are now going to focus on the moral compass that guides us. So, ethically, we are going to discuss professional ethics and standards specifically within the ICT sector. So, this is an innovation which is a powerful, but without ethics, it can be harmful. Okay, the importance of ethics. Why do we need to study this? Or what is the code driven by the hardware, for example? And because behind every line of code in human being and every database in a person's private life, there is ethical values. So we also believe that in our fast-paced society, we need to have ethical, moral compass within ourselves to be a better person. So the first one is trust and responsibility. So as IT professionals, we are gatekeepers of information. Kuno. We hold a significant amount of power and by extension, a huge responsibility. They say si Spider-Man bala, great power comes with great responsibility. So beyond just making things work out, we must consider the ethical implication of AI, for example, and automation. So we need to divulge or such biases on our job displacement, and we have a social responsibility to ensure that our technical contribution benefits society and do not compromise human rights or fairness. So how do we do that? We are going to have a consideration on ethical implication. We need to be responsible towards our community and be committed to integrity and fairness. Okay, the second one is the Philippine legal frameworks. What do you mean by the legal framework? Ano daya? So in our country, in the Philippines, ethics kono are not just suggested, but they are backed by law. So that's why you need to be aware of your surroundings, of the rules, and based on the company, mga policy ka inyo nga gina-auditihan. Okay? So the first one is let's talk about Data Privacy Act of 2012. So this is RA 10173. So this is the most critical law in the field of data privacy of information technology gali no. This is the Data Privacy Act of 2012 or RA 10173. Ano daya na? So this law protects individuals from the misuse of their personal information. So take note that your information is a very vital thing. So this amo day ginaano ninyo ginahalungan gin. So as IT professional, you must understand that if you handle data, you are data controller or data processor. Under this law, negligence that leads to data breach isn't just a mistake. It's a crime that carries heavy fines and imprisonment. Okay? So the scope of this is the protection of personal data in government and private sectors. So muda, pag OJT ka dyan, kag ikaw ya ginasarigan ka boss mo, so nahimo ka nga secretary, dayan. Hindi ti mo magchismis sa iban, halungan mo ang information na dayan sa workplace ninyo. So hindi mo pag-divulge ang simple nga lang, sabton nyo lang in a way that hindi ka mo maka-offend sa ibang tao. Like for example, if your boss says, hindi ka na maghambal kundi ako maadto, kaya importante dahil ang panawan ko. So ano ihambal ninyo? So those are the things that you need to be aware of. Not maobra lang mo dayan, ma-observe ka rules and regulation, but also be mindful of your surroundings. Be respectful to the bosses that you are having there, to your direct supervisors. And then there is such thing gali as Data Privacy Act. So just be aware lang din, students. So for the key IT regulation on Data Privacy Act, these are some of the things or the law that you need to focus on and be aware. Okay. The first one is, or you might also call this the pillars of the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Or these are the supporting law that governs your Data Privacy Act. The first one is the Cybercrime Prevention Act or the RA 10175. So this is our primary tool against hacking, identity theft, and online fraud. So the focus area here is online offenses. And the key provision for this one is you combat hacking, identity theft, and online fraud. So, ano malang daya guys, you have to identify some people. Yeah, I know that you can identify kung ano ya matuod kung hindi. Kung ano ya fake news, kung ano ya hindi. Or kung ano ya link nga nga para sa personal nyo nga kag kung ano sa trabaho. So be aware of the Cybercrime Prevention Act lang guys. Ang kalabanan kada mga scams nyo bala kag ha. Sino ka ninyo sa workplace naga-Shopee, nagapadulong pa ka dayan. Though away man ko against sa pag mga Shopee or Lazada pag-deliver. Pero palihog hindi niyo pag ganito ipa-deliver sa workplace ya mga ninyo. Kay some of the processes you are violating cybercrime. To prevent that, tuyan nilang pa-deliver sa balay ninyo. Okay? And the second one is the E-commerce Act, which is RA 8792, and this is focusing on digital economy and legalizes electronic transactions and digital signatures. So this gives electronic signatures and digital transactions the same legal weight as physical ones. Pareho man bala ka ang ginamando kay LTO natong way pa mabalaho ba ni James Higdicke nga ang pag-transact sa government gali ang mga digital ID ninyo sa eGov students, take note, those are valid IDs. Mga yung ano ninyo, national ID na nabutang sa eGov, digital ID na siya. So pwede nyo ma gamit sa any transactions, government or private, ano sa mga bangko or sa ibang pang mga lugar or mga uh, naga ano ka transaction. So this legalizes electronic transactions and digital signatures e-commerce act. So bawal day ang hindi pagbatonon niya digital ID ninyo. Okay, tandaan ninyo day ha. So importante abi day magbol kamo ka mga inyong papeles sa PSA. So ginabaton do ang digital ID. Kung way kamot ID sa kahita nyo, physical ID da mga driver's license bala sa LTO nga ano nga dang digital na. So those are valid because dapat batunon day ka mga agencies na gina-transact ninyo because they are violating e-commerce act. Okay, the last one is the RA 8293 which is the intellectual property code. So the focus area is the intellectual property and the key provision for this one is to address software piracy and copyright infringement. So this is vital for us because it protects the software we create from piracy and unauthorized distribution. So mga IP ninyo guys, I think nag-apply do kamo kadang inyong nga IP sa ano 'di ba? Sa ang inyong capstone. So because you are mandating the IP code that is under RA 8293. So this um, has a key provision to address software piracy and copyright infringement. For intellectual property rights, this is combating software piracy. The unauthorized copying, distribution, or use of software is a major ethical and legal violation in the Philippines. So under the IP code, IT professionals are expected to respect software licenses and copyrights, avoid cracked software in professional environments, and advocate for legitimate software acquisition. So for software piracy, using cracked software is very common, no? But as professionals or IT professional in the future, it is a major ethical violation. So you must lead by example, and if you want people to respect your work and pay for the software we build, then we must respect the licenses and copyrights of others. For the time being, I think you are not directly involving your personal work on this kind of things, intellectual property right. But if you are going to be employed on a private company, nga nagahimo pala ka mga software get. So I think that is a very legal concern. So in the future, please prepare yourselves with combating the software piracy. Use valid softwares. For code of ethics, the law tells us that what we must do. A code of ethics tells us what we should do. So as IT professional, we have honesty and integrity. For honesty, you have to be truthful about your system's capabilities and limitation. For confidentiality, never use client data for personal gain or disclose it without permission. For fairness, you ensure your software doesn't discriminate. Avoid discrimination. For competence, continuously improving your skills to provide higher standards of technical services. Okay. Now let's talk about ethical dilemma in emerging technology. So there is a so-called AI bias. This is ensuring algorithms do not perpetrate discrimination or social inequality. For surveillance, you have balancing technological monitoring with individual right to privacy and cyber negligence to distinguish between ethical hacking for security and malicious intent. AI bias, surveillance, and cyber negligence. As the technology evolves right now, new dilemmas appear, no? May mga confusion. For example, Is an AI algorithm biased because of the data we give it, or how much surveillance is too much in a workplace? And where is the line between ethical hacking or the malicious hacking? Or these are the questions that you need to answer among yourselves. So ginadara ninyo ya trabaho ninyo halin sa obra or sa workplace pakadto sa balay na. So ano yung mga biases ninyo? Kay dapat iatag urobra, ubra gid. Iatag uruli, tag uruli doon. So you have to think about it. For best practices, we have compliance. Comply with all national laws and company policies. Amo man lang nakasimple. So dapat patihon nyo yung ano ninyo, rules and regulations and policies kay inyong ginaobrahan. For protection, you protect data as if it were your own, encryption and security. Always protect your data. Kung ano dang ginaobra nyo, i-save nyo gid. Katatlo nyo da i-save. I-save nyo sa flash drive, i-save nyo sa hard drive, i-save nyo sa cloud. Protect your data. For citizenship, this is being responsible on social media. So makita ko gani, though ban ka ninyo, excited gid. Kadaliki ninyo sa OJT nyo, ginapicturan nyo lang. Picturean nyo gid. Yung mga lagaw nyo sa OJT nyo, sa Facebook, rarapta doon. As citizenship, you must be responsible kung ano yung gina-post ninyo. As much as possible, pwede ka maka-post sa workplace, pero ask permission anay sa agency. Or ask permission sa person na ginapicturan ninyo before posting it on social media. Okay? Be responsible. Be a good citizen. Okay, citizenship. IT professional. And then the last one is development. You commit to development in such a way that your education doesn't end when you graduate. It's a lifelong journey. Okay? Questions? So this is the part that we ask question. Okay, this is the image sources, and that's the end of my presentation. Okay, students, that is all for this morning. It's a two-part webinar. The first one is IT industry trend and emerging technologies in the Philippines, and the other one is professional ethics and standards in IT in the Philippines. So, do you have any questions regarding our webinar this morning? Okay, do you have any recommendations? Okay, so I think our webinar says it all. And for talking about IT industry trends and emerging technologies, you'll be able to understand the IT trends that is par with today's IT industry. For for the updates regarding the IT standards and emerging technologies in your workplace, you have to be observant of the latest trends that is within your workplace. So tandaan nyo lang, be observant on that. Okay? For professional ethics, these are the standards the standards of your ethical concerns within the workplace. Just be mindful of the things that you need to do not go overboard within the scope of your work sa trabaho nyo. And be respectful na. So, one of the things that you need to understand is to be respectful to your in the workplace. How do you the first thing that you need to do sa pag ninyo sa trabaho ninyo? Very easy. Be on time. So, kung ano yung time, again, ninyo, dang hindi ka mo pwedeng mag-late perme sa inyong appointments or transactions. Student, lain doon balay, eskwela kag Ang one of the ethical concerns that is ano right now, the concern is your be on time. So be on perfect timing. There's a time for everything, no? Ang amon gani di sa school to lad. I think yeah, policy is ano 6 o'clock. Ga time in kami at 7 o'clock. Te dapat before 7 o'clock tuya ka doon sa eskwelahan. And then sa hapon, yeah, time out namon is 6 o'clock. So yeah, ano namon for the whole day is 10 hours. Pero we don't have ano a duty every Fridays. I think ang ano nag-react si Chastity no kay sa DNR I think na-practice na dadya sa DA or sa DNR I don't know. So these are the ano testing phase pa lang gani daya sa ISOFest kay i-follow nanda kuno ka mga SUCs kon okay kon hindi. I think may several agencies man government agencies nga mo manday mandato nanda nga from Monday to Thursday ang duty for 10 hours pero wala sila class sulod it Friday. So you have to follow those things. So that is one ethical concerns that is being considered. Okay. Now, okay, ask questions please so that we can ano before we have your attendance. Okay. For attendance, please open your ano your cameras so that I can document our webinar right now. And then another attendance link will be sent to your uh, to our GC. So it will open only for I think for about ano ay diyan doon ka muna gadto. Sorry. It will open for another 5 minutes lang. Okay? 5 minutes lang. Or di ako lang ibutang siguro, no? For 5 minutes. Okay, sige. After kadayang picture taking naton, please stand by for the link. Kay may duwa ka link sa inyo nga ano. Ibutang ko lang diya sa chat box or sa chat box naton de. Okay. Or sa ano gali, sa GC pwede man for attendance. Okay, so thank you. Buhok anay, buhok. And then, sige, ready? One, two, three. Students, if you miss on this, I'm sorry. Napatay gulpe. But I'm going to upload this sa YouTube for the ano. Anyway, yan link ninyo dayan. Nagtapos dun abi ang ano naton for 1 hour before mag Google Meet. So, ay ko kamo nag-ready sa ano naton. Anyway, i-upload ko man dyan sa YouTube. And then, God bless everyone. Thank you.